Hello, hello, and welcome back. Yeah, turn this music up. Oh, that's why. It's the fucking creepy one. Okay. When last we left off, you all journeyed to the second island of the Kenku that you were brought to by a tribe of Yuan-Ti who have made it their job to keep these Kenku safe for the time being while they attempt to find a cure for their curse that seems to also infect their own. You explored a bit of the island, found a few different ways inside of the large tower, and found an underground keep underneath of sorts. A large underground area of religious memorabilia that doesn't really discern anything that you've seen before. Portraits of things painted onto the walls that don't quite make much sense yet. And eventually, you all found your way down there. Soul, unfortunately, being completely separated from you all, walked down a long path in between these decrepit Kenku who, decayed in their form, seem to be stuck in this perpetual unnerving scream or song that doesn't make any noise. And upon entering this large chamber, a motorcycle goes by. Upon entering this large chamber, you are met by another Kenku. However, her form different than most. Much more resembling of a regular Kenku, it seems, but still the decay and rot is still there. She twisted around and spoke out towards you in a very cryptic and meaningful way. What would you like to do? You're muted, so if you're saying something, you're good. You're good.
I was like, what did she say last session to Soul?
She spoke out in a very low and drawled voice, and she did say, free us from our curse.
You hear this from where we are?
You would hear movement and such, but nothing that you didn't hear before.
I'm gonna look at, like, kind of in the room and at these two over here. Do they look like, they don't look like they're coming towards me or anything, right? No,
they are not moving at all. They just sort of sit there in their strange, hunched-over forms, almost similar to the other Kenku that you saw with their mouths gaped open. These ones don't seem like they can close their mouths at all, as they don't really have one. It's just a hole in the place where a beak should be.
I remember with Tiff never really, Tiff Jr. Tiff Jr. never really spoke except using, like, other people's words and such, right?
Correct.
With that in mind, Soul is going to nervously, still kind of hands on the door, just going to kind of like, are you talking or are you repeating something?
It sits there in silence for a moment. A different voice echoes from it, this time more of a humanoid, sort of mid-average age, sort of deep drawl. So they can no longer sing anymore, but they are singing?
the ones out there, right?
Yes, that sounds like it's correct. A more womanly voice comes from it.
Um, Soul's going to take a cautious step into this place.
As you do, you get a good look at the large tapestry among the bottom. It being decently well maintained, other than the somewhat thick layer of soot and dust that has just sort of caked itself on here. A large woman, elven in nature it seems, sort of in this almost dance-like state, holding a large sword above her head. Go ahead and make me a religion check.
Okay. Check. Go.
Okay, hold on 1 second. I gotta find the extra stuff.
Oh boy.
Alright. This is a symbol of Saloon. One moment, sorry. I have way too many tabs open, and I lost my place immediately. There we go.
Well, I know the feeling.
Sorry, what was that?
Oh, I know what that is like.
Yeah. This is a symbol of Saloon, a elven deity that you know of. Similar to the Moonweaver, who is typically represented by the elves of Aietherhall now. She is technically the mother of the Moonweaver itself. Came a time before the Moonweaver seemed to have grown in power. And not much really history-wise is known about her on Aietherhall anymore, other than that she did exist, and possibly still does, albeit not really represented as much in the Pantheon. So wherever this place was created, whenever it was created, or why it was created, it was a very, very, very long time ago.
Soul's going to look down at this holy, this some kind of depiction of this very ancient, I guess, religion. He's going to look back at the Kenku. Does this, and he's going to motion over to the tapestry mosaic. Does this hold any significance to you? If you have the means to tell me so, I'd like to know.
She looks like she's thinking for a moment. And then the male voice comes back once again. They wait beyond the moon, beneath our feet. Huh. They wait for our chateau to grow long. Once they can see it, the end will come again? What does this mean? She tilts her head towards you.
Could you type that out so I can copy paste that?
Yeah.
I just had one of those, oh shit, I should be typing moments.
There you go.
Thank you. And just paste that right in there. Go. Take that as a yes. How long have you all been down here?
The voice rings out, shifting as it moves. That male voice comes to you once again. How long have you been down here? How long have you been down here? It speaks in a language you don't quite understand, but you can get the drift that it continues saying the same thing over and over and over again. At this point, what are the rest of you doing?
Well, we're reading the book, right? Or trying to.
Well, you moved inside. If you'd like to start reading the book now, you can, or you can move about.
I think
if you wish.
we gave it to Zenobio, the reader of words.
Mm-hmm.
I say Nesma is getting restless and kind of just wandering around.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so you can take a close look. And if it was handed me to review.
Sure. What languages do you read?
Oh boy. I read Common, Elvish, Dwarvish, Halfling, Gnomish, Undercommon, Infernal, Celestial, Draconic, and I think I have a new one which I didn't note down.
Well, it's none of those, so hope that last one is the one I have in mind.
Shit, what was it? And Sylvan.
Moment. Never mind, I was wrong. It was written in Elvish.
I'm not 100% sure if I got another language or Draconic was the other language I took. I think I still have another language, and it was Sylvan I was going to take. Basically, I
remember you saying something about Draconic.
Yeah, so maybe it was Draconic was the extra one I picked up already. Anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, as you start to look through that, you actually didn't look in this room. So as you look around, it looks like an old bed quarters of some sort. It does not look like it's been used in some time. Some of the beds are still made, albeit they're covered in dust, and the edges of these blankets are starting to rot away. There's a few things just around, a few chests of goods and things that don't look to be open at the moment, so you could investigate if you wished. But
Yeah,
the rest
how-
looks pretty rotten and gross.
No one's paying attention to Nesma. She's gonna go poke around through some random shit. And not find nothing.
Sorry. Sorry, what were you doing?
I was gonna poke around.
Oh,
but I
okay.
rolled up.
Yeah, I mean, it's gross in here.
Nesma's not really bothered by gross, but she's bothered by bored. So
Alright.
look around.
And as you read through, it looks to be, albeit it is very well worn and the pages are starting to break and such, there are places where you can read. The few places that you can find, you do read out the following. One moment. I don't know why I put this on a different page, but hold on. There is a date, as if it was a journal, and it reads out, Misithar, the 14th of 675. And it reads, we made landfall among the islands to the north of the Yonti. The experiment still running amok. We decided to venture forth and investigate the villages of the Kenku to see how they were faring. However, it looks like they were stricken with some sort of illness. Many of them can no longer speak, more so move or eat. However, it doesn't look like they are dying. We're unsure where this curse or plague was put upon them, but we did ask among their leaders, the ones that could speak, or at least mimic us in our voices, what we should do about their predicament. They pointed us towards the ziggurat to the west, or the east. That which we were told not to go near to begin with. The Yonti view it as a very religious place, one that even they don't venture towards very often, a place where they bring their dead and leave them to, well, decay. We haven't decided whether or not we will venture there, but it seems like that is our only lead currently. It looks like it continues, but from what you can tell, it is no longer legible. There are other small entries about this man and woman's journey through the Southern Isles, mapping it out, and investigating these small tribes and their cultures and such, but nothing really relevant seems to pop into your mind.
What do I know about the date? The 14th of Mistar 675. Like, what is that relative to our timeline and our time and the like history and major events of that time?
Well, you can know certainly that that is from a previous age, as the date itself of the year is not anywhere near in the realm of date that you are in currently. If it was the last age or a previous one, you're not entirely sure, the previous one being the most seemingly obvious, it seems, as the state of decay on this might be much worse if it was a different age. But it is seemingly from a very long time ago. You, being a history buff, would know that the previous age, as far as you can tell, lasted. I have to check my notes for that. Somewhere in the realm of about 1250 years or so. So this was a very long time ago.
I'll relay them to the group and say, it appears to be some kind of traveler's logbook about visiting the Southern Isles, maybe even where we are. Speaks of the Kenku being cursed, that they started to lose their appetites and become shells of themselves. They asked about how to solve the problem and were pointed towards, well, some kind of ziggurat or temple somewhere in the east. Where exactly this is, though, I can't exactly say.
As we'll sort of wander back over as he's finishing. Like, ziggurat. Well, point the way. Let's go find it. Where's Soul anyway?
Oh, Sunshine was supposed to be here. Wait. You don't think
I pointed him
Sunshine.
to. That's Nicole's voice. Become French, it's fine. I
You
sent
mean
him to. No, I got it. And it's gone. I sent him down through the top of the tower to look around. I don't know if he's still at the top or if he found a way in.
Oh shit.
We probably need some way to message him. I told him just to look around. Hopefully he's not messing with anything.
Right. Well, there's a lot of birds in that hallway.
Shit, Nesma, he might be in there. And Corvus is going to go ahead and run over here and kick open the door, axe out. Just in case Soul is getting attacked.
Alright.
I'll
With a
follow him.
loud slam, the door creaks open, hitting the wall, and breaks off of his hinges, and it was not very strong to begin with. So you obviously hear this as it's directly to your left. But as you look in, you very immediately see that Soul is inside already.
Soul!
You're right there?
Yeah. Oh.
Nobody behind will say, "Come, Tiff, I'm an old man. Help me forward."
You scared the crap out of me.
Oh, what? He's going to take a quick look around. What the hell is going on?
As you look over the top of this creature's head, it just sort of doesn't look like it even made any effort towards the sound or you, and it just sort of sits there. But as you look in, you can see the other Kenku around the corner, as long as what Soul sort of facing it.
I suppose the abbreviated version. This is a very sacred place, and these people have been here for a very, very long time. And
All right.
it was kind of just asking a few questions, I suppose.
Huh.
So you're not in mortal danger then. All right.
So your underground passage leads right here, I take it.
Well, just a little bit back, yeah.
Um,
Can I move this thing out of my way, like with my shield or axe? I don't want to
Yeah.
directly touch it.
Yeah. As you
and
take
he's
your
just gonna
shield and just sort of dip it away, it obliges and just sort of topples to the side and rolls over.
Alright. Don't really much like that. Alright, what's going on here? And he's gonna take a look over to the actual bird-looking Kenku.
This person seems different than the others, and they asked for help.
Last time we listened to one that was talking, we released one of these things.
About that.
This is like a Zen problem to me. Zen, hurry up! Talk to this bird and figure out how to help it. And we can get out of here.
Just
Find
go
something
over to. I'm going to go over to Corvus and kind of just try to motion for him to bend down a little so I can whisper to him.
Corvus obliges.
We don't really need to worry about them getting out because there's no barrier up there.
What do you mean there's no barrier? He doesn't whisper that, by the way.
He wouldn't.
Well, I was more or less able to just kind of walk right in and down.
Can I, while they're, as soon as I hear Corvus say, there's no barrier, can I go back into this room here and use one of those sending scrolls that we got before to
Sure.
talk to the leader on the ship?
Sure, what are you saying?
Right,
25 words or less.
I need to count on my fingies. Here we go. Oh, Colin's doing for me. Amazing. Now I have to think about what I'd say. Captain, we found the Kenku. The barrier is open, but they're still here. They want us to help them, but we don't know how. That's it. I got caught out. That's exactly 25.
And you're sending that to the actual captain and not the other one? Alright.
Yeah. I don't like the other one. She's mean.
I expected that. I just was making sure.
Otherwise, I would have said, hey, dummy, and I would have run out of words.
She returns it quickly. That is understandable. If they can still communicate with you, however, do try. We have material to reinforce if you need it. And that's all she says.
That's so not helpful. Alright. Let's go back. Nothing happened, we're fine. Just some leaders talking to each other.
But yeah, I'm going to be like, they don't seem to be in any sort of rush to leave. So I think there might be something else going on here. Perhaps
It don't matter. Sorry, go ahead.
Perhaps they genuinely do want to try and seek aid, and not in the way that Tiff Jr. tried to do it.
Listen, one of the most effective ways to rob a merchant is to pull a wounded person routine. I need help. Oh, you can only help me by coming over here. Did this thing say something like that?
No. It's actually been quite helpful, and informative, at least. It seems like it was like this place to salute is at least of some importance enough to continue residing.
Draco will kind of push her way into the room and be like, so, Soul, do you reckon you have any idea what could be causing their illness? Or, excuse me, just slip through there.
As you push your way through, Nesma just kind of steps to the side and slumps against the wall, sighs loudly, and starts muttering about how she is entirely the wrong dwarf for this job.
It had mentioned something when I asked if this place had any significance. And I tell them about the quote that had they wait beyond the moon beneath their feet. They wait for our shadows to grow long. Once they can see it, the end will come again.
It's the end, but
Yeah, the end.
yeah, my terrible typing. Sorry.
No, don't worry. I think there may be something to that, and whatever has befallen them, but I suppose there is always simply to ask.
It's about
Okay.
what question we gotta ask to know how to get the right answer, though. This ain't exactly my expertise either. Probably not for most of us.
You said that you had wanted help. I would like to know what kind of help you wish.
The male voice comes through once again. You want us to cure of this? You want to be cured of this affliction? Well, we want to help.
How did you get Hurst to begin with?
It remains silent.
Zenobia, walking into the room before talking, is curious about the architecture. Like, what can he tell about this mosaic or not mosaic, tapestry or whatever, and the like architecture of the room in terms of like the time period and how it kind of lines up with the. Sorry, I just got completely sidetracked by the extremely small chairs in the other room. Is this like, are the Kenku much smaller, or is this just like a vaguely off scale map?
They're small, like child size, but
Okay.
it's also the scale of the map is a little off.
Okay. Sorry. Yes. Great. Just suddenly I was imagining the Kenku were like solidly 2 feet tall, and that just kind of changed everything.
Kenku are small. They are like just about dwarf size. They are not like large
4
creatures.
feet, not 2 feet.
Yeah.
They're not like pixie sized.
No.
Anyway, sorry. Yes, the general what's going on here to tell about like what the sort of age and background of the thing.
History check. I believe I told you this last week too, but the architecture here is strange. It's not elven, it's not dwarven, at least not any recently that you can tell.
I think I asked about it last week. I was just saying to Mike I should do a stonework. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you did it. I'm pretty sure you did, and I told you basically the same thing. It's not elven or dwarvish, at least not recently, as far as you can tell. It's very old and almost alien in some ways. The stonework is like twisted or shaped. in strange ways that you don't think that a normal person could do, or a normal humanoid could do. It's just something is off about it, and you're not exactly sure why.
Okay, and what about the appearance of this sort of like leader Kenku in terms of like disposition and clothes or anything, like any kind of like visible markers?
Oh, you have no idea. It obviously looks like it's more all there, and even with the bits of decay that it has, but the only thing that it has on it is this white cloth that sort of drapes over top of it, along with its pack of goods.
I'll say to it, in what direction should we travel if we are to find this ziggurat that holds your curse?
It doesn't speak for a moment, and it slowly, as its arm begins to creak and crack, it reaches up into its pack and sort of digs around for a moment and pulls something very large and heavy out. It then speaks and moves forward towards you. A ziggurat.
This one really, like, snaps to attention and has her hand on the axe, or the anchor, just in case.
Sure. A ziggurat, like the ones the Yonti made. Strange. This one seems different somehow. And it hands it to you, and I will post what it looks like. It looks similar to an axe head, albeit it has markings and carvings into it, and it just sort of looks out of the ordinary for this sort of place. There it is.
I instantly want it.
And that was a axe head?
It is an axe head. It's in the chat.
I'll take it and say, like, we will investigate the significance of this artifact. But a direction, where do we go?
It remains silent and moves back to its position.
I'll turn to Nesma and say, Assistant, you know of all things metalworking. What do you make of the head?
Oh, well, I don't know. Let me take a look. What does it look like?
Looks like it's in the chat. It is a
It's the wrong one.
metal.
Sorry.
It's a mixture of metal and stone. It has carvings that are sort of dripped in what look to be like paint of some sort, but it does also look similar to gold. You're not entirely certain if it is or not.
Cool.
However, it has these little mechanisms inside of it that looks like, as you look at it, it looks like it opens up, but how it does, and as you sort of pull and tug in a few different places, and it shifts around very, very slightly, but it doesn't look like it opens in any way, and you're not sure exactly where it happens or what it could do.
It's honestly kind of weird specimen. We should bring it back to Amber and see what she makes of it. She's probably the best weapons expert we're going to find this far south.
Considering
I will test the blade with my thumbs to see if it's still sharp.
Considering it's supposed to be a Yanti thing, our benefactors? That's not really a good word for them. Our ferryman might know more about it.
Annoying employers?
Sure.
Yeah. Those people.
I don't know. We show it to them. I mean, how sure are we we'll get it back? We show it to Amber. You know, she's a dwarf. She'll tell us what it is.
How about you show it back to me again? I'll take another look at it.
I just listen. From everything we're hearing, it doesn't sound like our scaly friends are the best of people.
I mean, they did.
Now, normally I don't give a damn, but also normally we're getting paid.
As you're discussing that, Nesma, as you test the blade quickly, which is a finger, it is very sharp still. Like it, even with its rough nature around the edge, it is very razor thin sharp. And then Zenobia, go ahead and make an Arcana check if you're checking it.
Yeah, I'll hand it back to him, but I'll hand it over carefully. Say, whatever it is, it's well made. It's still sharp. Careful, old man.
You can't tell what it is, but you can tell it's magical in some way. The obvious sharpness to this blade, even though the rough nature of it just appears, and you can tell, you can sense the sort of arcane nature emanating from it.
I'm going to start fiddling with it, running my fingers across the symbols and along any cracks or crevices, attempting to manipulate it.
It doesn't seem like anything's gonna budge.
Hey, Zenobia, you mind if I take a look at that?
Yes, but you can take a look at it very briefly.
Okay. He's gonna hold out his hand.
Zenobio holds it out, but when you grab it, he's very briefly going to still clench onto it.
He's gonna kind of pull it away. Jeez. All right. Shit. Does it look like it could still fit on an axe handle?
No.
It does not. It doesn't have any attachment.
He's gonna take a few practice swings with it, just kind of holding it in his hand.
It is not easy to swing, as there is no real good grip to grab on. You have to hold it with two hands and sort of swing it around, and it's very bulky and doesn't look like you would be very good at slicing at this angle. It would work, but not very well.
Kind of seems like, now that I'm looking at it a little bit closer, kind of seems like maybe this axe splits in half somehow. He's going to try and take it on either sides and kind of try to pull it a little bit to see if he can force the axe head apart.
It does not seem to budge, and it is much stronger than you.
Yeah, I figured. Huh. Well, can I take a look over it, see if I see any see anything hidden or any inscriptions on it that might be helpful?
As you're looking over, there's no wording on it. Only symbols and things that you do not understand, if it even is a language.
He's gonna toss it back to Zenobio. Don't look like it's much use right now. It's too heavy to swing. At least effectively.
Step to the side as it comes towards him rather than try and catch it. At the same time, he's going to yell out, "Nesma, think fast!"
Nesma doesn't even really try that hard and just kind of reaches out to grab it.
Alright, hold on.
Battle Rangers aren't careful.
Okay. It lands blade side up and you take 1 damage as you grab the blade.
Oh, she can't make some kind of dexterity save to see if she actually manages to snatch it out of the air despite it being blade side up? That'd be badass.
Battle Rangers don't. Yeah.
I don't even.
How much is it gonna hurt?
Dexterity do you even have? You only have 14. That's not enough. You're
Yeah,
not dex
well,
based.
I can only get so much dex bonus with medium armor.
Yeah.
That's how much I have.
Don't need to be any more dexterous than that. It's the maximum dexterity required.
Actually, no, I have 16 because I have more armor without my armor.
Oh, it's 14 on your sheet.
Oh. Weird. Oh, no, it's not there. It's unarmored defense.
Yeah. But anyways, you have the axe head. Are you asking this thing anything else?
I'm going to ask it. Did another Kenku come through here recently?
No, that doesn't seem right.
I see. I understand the Yanti are the ones kept you here. I was wondering if perhaps it is a measure that you agree with, at least until a cure can be found. A way to stop whatever it is that has happened. Hopefully reverse it.
You want to be cured of this affliction. The womanly voice comes back. Zora, we need to go. These things are creeping me out. I know. Soon enough, love. Where do we go then? Where is this ziggurat? And then it points with its staff towards the axe head.
Sorry, do you mind repeating what you just said?
We're supposed to follow the axe head somewhere? Nesma would sort of snatch it back from Zenobia and start turning around in circles, holding it out in front of her.
Nothing seems to happen.
She's just kind of twirling around with a super sharp axe blade.
Slowly, let's go.
I mean, we could test it against one of the Kenku, but I'm guessing that's not the answer because they had it.
What could be the answer? That doesn't necessarily negate it being the answer.
Oh, you gave us an axe head? You want us to kill you with that? That's cool. We'll do
All
that.
right. Everyone line up. Here comes the cure.
I mean, it's possible that it's like they took that and that's why they're cursed, but they didn't answer me when I asked them if they knew why they were cursed, so. Or how
Wait.
they were cursed.
If we press on the bug, like you guys see where the blade looks like it splits in half, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you press on the bug, has any of us specifically done that?
No.
Maybe it's something stupid like you press on the, thank you, scarab, and the axe splits apart and a little
Well,
handle
there's
comes out the
also
bottom.
those two other, what look like they could be buttons with the crescent moons on either side.
I mean,
Yeah.
Zenobia did take time like running his fingers over all the grooves and stuff to see if he could find anything, so.
Also fair.
For all we know, this is like a star map.
I mean, we already have indications of moon and a moon map in front of us.
Yeah, I feel like if we show this to our Yanti friends, they'll know how to work it. But that one who's already kind of pissed at us for no good reason,
No good reason.
she's definitely
think-
not going to want us to keep it.
I think my mind is just. I think my mind's just overreaching with this one. I keep trying to think of like how to line this up with the moon
I
phases.
mean, I feel like either it has to be a full moon for the shadows to be at their longest, or it's like an eclipse that only happens like every so often, and that's why it's a special event. But maybe it's like a solar eclipse, and that's why it's a thing. But I don't know.
Zenobia was going to ask the Kenku and say, "Your curse. What can you tell us of it?"
Once more with feeling, please.
I don't know. I'm just trying to phrase it as a simple terms as possible. Leave it for like an open-ended answer from Kenku.
It takes a moment and doesn't respond at first before it repeats something again. They wait beyond the moon, beneath our feet. They wait for our shadow to grow long. Once they can see again, once they see it, the end will come again. What does that mean?
Wait. Is there anything behind this thing in the moon? Is it just a wall?
No, it's just wall.
All right. Hearing that again, Corvus is going to think, okay, that clearly means there's a secret passage behind here. So he's going to say, hey, Punt, get over here.
What now?
All right, you remember how we took down that tower?
Yeah, we got yelled at for that pretty good.
Yeah, well, screw that. It was a poorly made tower. All right, wasn't really our fault. Anyway, so
I don't know.
that little
Pretty much every time I've smashed a wall or a building, I've gotten yelled at for it. I mean,
well,
thinking back.
yeah, but who's going to yell at us? Anyway, there's something behind this wall, and so we're going to break it. Okay?
If you're sure, I guess so.
Yes. Let's take your anchor and kind of slam it up against the wall.
Alright. I guess why not? What do you think is back there?
I don't know. The thing said behind the moon, there's moons all over the floor here, so I figure we break enough of the wall, something's going to show up.
That's up beneath your feet. We can try smashing the floor.
Corvus, remember
don't think
we're
that's it.
underwater right now, so maybe don't start breaking through the walls.
All right, you're right. We should try the floor first then, because the water won't. It'll come in through the walls, but it won't come up through the floor.
It could still come up through the floor, but maybe. Maybe, if Zenobio, if you can see if there are any secret passages around here, instead of us just breaking up this temple and desecrating it, possibly getting ourselves cursed.
It's a terrible idea, and I'm offended that we would even consider destroying this ancient site. All of you stand back, and I will take a very careful look to see if there's anything we have missed. And Zenobio is going to kind of go up and check along the edges of the thing here, and then up along the walls as well, around the outside.
Nesma's leaning against the wall here and very resistant to being moved when he goes.
Okay. So as he's doing that, he's just going to kind of push into her and say your natural essences are getting all over the walls.
I'm gonna wait till the last minute as he's pressing into Nesma and using a fair bit of strength, and just suddenly step forward out of the way.
All right. Investigation check, please.
Yeah, I did a very good roll today.
Would anyone like to help him?
I'll give him assistance since I told him to do it.
Okay.
Corvus is
Go ahead
upset,
and roll
so he's
again.
not going to help.
Halfling luck.
Definitely
That's not
don't have halfling luck still, but whatever.
Well, I got rid of all of those. Well, I have to roll again because I don't know what I got otherwise because it doesn't output.
Okay, an 18 is enough anyways. As you look around the floor and the walls, everything seems very solid.
I suppose Ellie pointed out, of course, obviously we do know what I rolled. Halfling luck procs on a 1.
True, but I'm not gonna take that. I'll put it at an 18
Right.
because I'm
Well, I-
keeping you
I
from
don't
doing
know.
something very bad.
All right. Well, yeah, I guess that then so be it.
Corvus, did y'all check over on this end of the thing, or were you only on the other half of the temple?
We saw the creepy birds and we focused on the one side of the building.
All right, I'm gonna
Yeah.
go on the other side and start looking around and see if there's any more
Okay.
hints.
As you go into here, it looks like this is like an old workshop. It's completely devoid of any arms or anything, but it has tools and things around.
All right, that one
It looks
it's
like
just a
another
bedroom.
quarters, sleeping quarters. It looks like there are spots for what look like meditation and things, like comfortable spots to do so. There are a few small chests and things around to look through if you would
Ooh.
like to do that.
All right,
Investigation check.
this one. Yep,
Yeah, it's kind of gross in here.
close. Yes, they're musty. Ugh, out of here. Bye.
Can I look around this first room for some tools that seem functional?
Go ahead, investigation check.
Maybe we will run out of bad rolls. Nope. Not yet.
Yeah, this place is kind of gross.
So Corvus is going to kind of meander down this hallway and check what's in here.
In here, it looks like it was an old kitchen or a slightly different kitchen than the one that you already saw before. There's like old barrels and casks of things that definitely do not look edible anymore. Along the wall and such, there's a fireplace over here and tables and such. And there's a door to your right that's slightly ajar that, looking in slightly, you can see it looks like an old storage area.
Now, why would a church need two kitchens? Suspicious.
Oh, God. That's what you're worried about.
Listen. Who knows? One kitchen is for sacrifices.
That's literally what Cullen said.
Jesus.
He was like, one of them's for the bodies.
As you look over
is this
here,
here?
there is like
Yeah.
a iron gate similar to the area you came in before. As you look down the long like tunnel here, it looks like it's caved in at some point, and there's just a large amount of rocks in your way.
Okay, cool. I'll go in here too and go in this way.
This looks like a much more presentable dining hall.
Hmm.
One with a full moon and one with a crescent on the table.
Hmm. So
Right.
many chairs.
See this hallway over here?
Yeah, that was what Draco just checked. It is
Yeah, it's-
collapsed in further down.
What's in here?
Bam, both at once.
This looks like an old growery of some sort where they had plants and such, but albeit the only thing that seems to be growing now are mushrooms of large and strange varieties.
Can I tear off a piece of these mushrooms?
You just grabbing the first one you see?
Yeah, he just kind of walks in. He's looking around. He looks at the green one and goes, I'm just going to try and take a piece.
Sure. Take a piece of mushroom. You can just mark that as green mushroom.
Nice.
When you eat it, you shrink down real small. And that's a new thing we have to deal with. Alright, so there's not really anything here. Guess I'll just go back.
Probably lots of things here.
No, I didn't find a single thing.
Yeah.
He's going to take a piece of each of the mushrooms in here.
Okay. Then you have a green, you have a purple, you have a orange, and you have a blue.
Nice.
What
Yes,
they
you
do, I
collected
guess you'll
all
have to
the
eat them and
drugs.
find out.
I'm so tempted to throw one back. So Corvus is going to kind of walk back to the group. Hey, so I found these mushrooms. And I know I shouldn't, but the easiest way to find out what something does is to eat it, right?
No.
No.
I mean, it's the quickest way.
Let me see if maybe I can figure out what they do. Figure out if they look poisonous or not.
I mean, I guess, but it also could be, you know, one of those good time mushrooms.
And I'm going to try and look at the mushrooms.
All right. Are you proficient in nature or alchemy supplies?
I am going to check my sheet to see if I am or am not. Nature is an intelligence.
Correct.
Yes, I am.
All right. Go ahead and make a nature check then. All right. As you look over the four of them, a few of them do stand out. The let me just look at my thing real fast. The green and the orange one look like very common mushrooms found just below the surface that plenty of cave explorers and things find. But they are good natural remedies for like healing and poison resistance and such. They are good medicines and such. The other two, however, are very rare. The blue and the purple are very rare and typically aren't found anywhere other than the Underdark, much deeper below the surface or in really anywhere that you would find on the surface. Them specifically, you're not entirely certain of the exact properties that they do, but you do remember that they are good hallucinogenics, at least at the base level.
He's going to just nod as he looks it over, pointing it to the orange and green.
Correct?
These are very good for making medicines, treating some illnesses. These are from the Underdark. Very rare to find them. And I don't know their full range of effects, but I do know that these, judging by the way they're shaped and the general texture of them, these are probably poisonous. They cause hallucinations and disorientation and the like.
Oh, that's not poisonous. That's what we call a good time. And he's going to kind of pick up the purple mushroom, kind of eye it a little bit. And he's just going to put them all in his pack for later. Should we get some more of these mushrooms to bring with us?
Maybe. But Soul's gonna look over to the Kenku. Just thank you for your help. We'll try and figure out a way to help all of you.
It remains silent. It just sort of stares in your direction. Its eyes sort of looking almost through you and not at you.
I'm still gonna give it a kind of polite-ish bow and go back to the others. I still have a rope tied up on the island above if you want to save yourselves the swim.
I will gladly take assistance out of here.
Might be, we will have to for the Yanti close up where you came through.
It doesn't reach up and take that good berry. You just have to put it in its hand. Would you like to do anything else, or are you leaving?
Oh, I feel like there's something else that's fast, but I'm not really sure what the secret is. I don't know. Can I make an intelligence roll as to whether there's something very obvious that I missed?
I mean, I'll just say this: you've had the least investigative people look around this place, and you are the most investigative and have not looked at a single room.
Oh, sorry. Yes, I suppose that's true. I haven't gone to any of the other rooms. I will certainly then say that I should that I'd like to take a look around more closely at what's in this place in the other rooms. That is a damn good point.
I think I'll go up the way Soul came out and take a look at how this place is open and how we could close it.
Sure.
Follows Zen around, sighing loudly.
And to not be underground for a bit.
Also, real quick, Corvus is seeing that everyone else is kind of sticking around. He's gonna go collect some more of the mushrooms of all 4 colors.
Are you picking them until they're gone, or are you just picking a large amount?
Yeah, he'll pick them until either they're gone or somebody comes to tell him, "Hey, we're leaving."
Okay. If you're picking until you're gone, that's going to take until everybody else is done.
Yeah, that's fine.
And I'll get you to do that in a moment. Zenobia, go ahead and make an investigation check. And I suppose you can have advantage if Nesma's helping you.
Yeah, she just yelled from upstairs that she's getting out the whiskey that she's helping me investigate.
Sure. Okay. And I'm just going to do this for the whole place.
Hooray!
So, because that's high, and also I don't want to go through it room by room again.
In terms of, like, I am good at investigating. So.
Yeah, also that. So there's a few things. First of all, in this room, there's a small, what looks to be a furnace that used to run and does not anymore. But inside of it, as you sort of look around, there's old soot and charcoal and such. But inside of that, sort of almost blending in with the charcoal and such, is this soot-covered lantern that you can immediately tell is magical in some way, as your sense of it just sort of clicks. Let me see, did I have a picture for that one? One moment. Yes, I did. Don't read the name because I forgot to edit it out, but there is a name. It's sort of jagged and almost alien-like, the sort of iron that it's made out of. But it has several hoods around the edge, like a bullseye lantern, but sort of in all directions. With a long chain that sort of attaches to the ceiling of this furnace that easily detaches.
I'll swirl it away in my robes to investigate more carefully later.
Okay. And then the other thing would be, as you go all the way over here, is now you get to look at these 3 paintings once again. Those being, and I'll just to remind you all. Towards the center is a ziggurat, similar to the one that you were just discussing, albeit it is covered in this almost like blackened green stone small light at the center. To the left is a large, what looks to be mountain with a red gem towards the center of it as it twists and manipulates around it with the rock. A small entrance towards the bottom. However, it looks to be completely steeped in darkness. You're not sure if it's just night or some other strange being is there. The next on the other side is a large tower, like a funeral pyre, or not a funeral pyre, but a large, like almost a, I think I described it as a, like a large mausoleum, sort of stacked high about 40 or 50 stories or so, all with these different grave sites inside of it, all with their single little hole to them. Almost like a Bastille, but just with graves and markers inside of it.
Can I tell anything from the aging of the art, or the art style, or the way in which it is hung and presented?
Go ahead and make a history check. Half.
Damn it.
It must be on every
Apparently-
single one of those.
Yeah, I put it in every single one manually rather than making it one universal thing, so there's no one place to turn it off. Apparently I took it out of all of my saving throws and regular checks, but I do not take it out of all my skills. Anyway, I rolled a 1, so that's a 10.
I need to get you my macro. It's way better. Because it's literally just one button, and it does all of them.
Oh, I'm sure I could do that. That would be easy.
Yeah. As far as you can tell, these are very old. All the edges are frayed and beginning to sort of eat away with decay and mildew and such. But it's still there, so it's old, but not very, very, very old as far as you can tell. Possibly after that journal entry, maybe the same time, you're not entirely certain.
Well, I will stroke my beard in contemplation, I guess, but not obviously very much of it. I will go and see if I can pull the ziggurat one off of the wall.
It is nailed on there. You're going to have to make a strength check if you want to take it off.
Oh, I don't make strength checks. Nesbo will do that.
Okay.
All right. Athletic.
Yeah, it'll be athletics. No. No, it is not coming with you, it seems.
Halfling luck for that.
That is insane. It's just the worst night so far.
I will give her the advantage by just yelling at her some words of encouragement.
Sure, but you're going to have to roll again.
No, that seems fair.
Alright, with that, you sort of rip and tear as the frame that was nailed to the wall begins to come off. The picture inside of it that was sort of held in place is starting to crumple a little as you pull and rip it from the wall, but it is still there. It's still there attached to it, albeit a little not great.
Nesma thrusts it roughly at Zen. All right, cool. Are we done?
Zen is going to step back, not taking it from her, and say, yes, bring it back to the ship. We might need it.
How are we getting it through the water?
As quickly as possible.
Right, whatever.
You probably know that Soul came in a different way. As we were at the water entrance and he got in the other way.
Yeah, and Nesma doesn't fly. So she's still not going up that way unless she needs to.
And head over towards the entrance.
Alrighty.
Unless there's anything else that I should be surprised of based on my investigatory skills.
No, that was the only thing that you were missing.
Alrighty.
Alright. As you finish up here, you, I'll say you can you'll have 20 of each. All right. Tiff, are you doing anything, or are you just standing there?
Tiff is sort of trying to think about this a little more literally, and I'm going to investigate the this big moon mosaic on the floor, and just look for like any seams or like drafts, any evidence that there might be something underneath.
Sure. Go and make another investigation check. Doesn't look like there is. It would be very difficult, it seems, to make something like that under this area. And if it were here, you'd probably find it. But it's also probably been sealed for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're talking about some other place. I'm just gonna leave.
Alright. Alright, you three then are headed out this way. Corvus, which way you headed out?
So, since how many mushrooms did I get, by the way?
20 of each.
Oh, sorry, I missed that. Okay, I will fix that later. So after picking, Corvus is gonna kind of look up and go, guys. It's gonna step out into this hallway, kind of pushing aside the Kenku. Hello?
And I'll give him a wave from the stairway.
He's gonna come up the stairs.
Just push one of them aside.
What a terrible guard. Leader left him.
Well, Zen, where is everyone? You getting through that wall on your own or what?
I had you guys go through there.
Well, if you're not a pancake on the other side, that's good for you. So just kind of roughly shove the frame of the picture into his arms and grab him by the shoulder and start heading out.
Zen is going to spin his body into as flat as possible.
Okay. So you headed out that way? Which way are you guys going? Are you going out this way?
Yeah. Zen's the brains of this operation. That's the way he pointed.
I figured we were going up the stairs.
Oh, I know you guys are. I'm talking about them.
Yeah, they went off in a different direction and we were like, okay, bye. Because I went out to like be outside and take a look at, the doorway where you came in while they were investigating the rest of the place.
Alrighty then. You four, I guess, are coming with me.
Corvus is gonna be taking out the mushrooms and looking at them every so often, just trying to see what he can gain from them.
Nothing, because you're not
Nothing?
proficient in nature.
Yeah, he's bad at nature.
You wind up the long staircase upwards. I need you four to make me a perception check.
On nat 20. Yeah.
Perception.
Meanwhile, I have medicine, so I probably even know how to use the 2 good mushrooms.
Okay. Draka and Tiff, you as you're heading up the stairs and exit out of the sort of busted up tower that you have over here, you see a shadow sort of shift across the edge around the corner.
It was me and Tiff.
Yes.
I'm gonna signal to Corvus to go around one way, and I'll go around the other way. We hunt together.
Harvest, who is about to pop a purple mushroom into his mouth, kind of puts it back and starts to creep around this side.
Weapons out.
That's right.
Okay.
As loud as possible.
Concur.
Okay.
That was impressive.
Oh my god.
Listen, we're a raiding party. We're used to calling out, "Hey, hey, we see you, hey." Yeah, we got shields. We're banging on the shields.
You come around your edge and you see nothing over here. You come around your edge and you see nothing.
What are we looking for?
Saw something. Some shadows creeping around here. Keep your eyes peeled. Maybe it's Tiff Jr.
Oh, shit. Well, I was just thinking we should probably go back and get Tiff Jr., right? Before we do anything else.
Maybe.
All right. Now, how are we gonna... I mean, do you think collapsing this tower to rubble will block out this entrance?
I think, I did not take anything. I contacted the captain and they said they had supplies to block it up, so they might be able to just fix it the way it was before. But I really want to find that shadow. Just, I don't know, do another loop.
All right, well,
Looking around the edge of
suppose-
the tower, there's nothing.
I suppose we should stay here just in case, they try to get out. We can just... He's gonna mime chopping at something in the doorway. So, I guess I can stay here for that.
So when we were here, I saw something go around this edge.
Yes.
We'll go over here and look down to see if there's anything on the cliff side.
It doesn't look like there's anything down there.
Yeah. Well, that sucks. Saw something now. I don't know, and I want to know what it was.
I could try and get a better angle look.
Oh, you know what I should try? Healing them. Because I'm a cleric. I just looked at my spells and I was like, oh, spare the dying. And then I was like, oh, I bet I could maybe try a heal spell, like Lesser Restoration. Which I don't have prepared, but...
I am not sure that those types of conventional magics might work on them. It feels like the Yonti would have probably... The Yonti or whoever it is who found them might have tried such a thing before.
Right.
Curses... Well, I don't have a lot of personal experiences from what I've heard and such from those who have. Curses, they're very tricky.
Yeah, I usually gotta know how they were cast to undo them, I think. I don't know. Do ceremony. Plus some water. Just... I don't know.
Bless the ocean, drop the barrier there.
We'll bless... Oh, we'll do funeral rites! And then they can die properly. Because they're not dead.
We can kill him first.
No, they just disappear when you kill them, though. You got to do it before they die.
Damn it, you're right. Well,
Yeah,
so
I think we got to find this ziggurat, what they were kind of saying, and see if there's more information there.
where's Clint?
I think she's looking around with Zenobio, trying to see if they find anything we missed, because we didn't really look.
Speaking of, meanwhile, hey, you two, what are you doing?
No, yeah. So she, I didn't realize you were waiting for like an actual specific confirmation, but like, yeah, I would be letting her try and take me out via the other direction.
Sure.
If she fine.
Sure. If you're going up to the barrier and trying to get out, go ahead and make me an athletics check, Nesma.
I thought it let you on this side.
Nope. It did not. You had to try. Either way.
Huh.
Nesma roars and yanks them both through.
Yep, that's
I-
enough.
Like, if that's not enough, I'm scared. But okay.
Yeah, you hold on to him and sort of grab him out. Your painting that you took and are wrapped up in your arms immediately disintegrates in the water.
Yeah.
I mean,
Disintegrate.
Surprise.
It's hella old, dude.
Yeah, but still, it's canvas. Like,
it's
In salt water.
over 300 years old. Anyway,
Probably over 1,000.
Oh, more than that. It was much more than 300 years old.
It's possibly over 1,000.
1200. Yeah.
Like,
Nesma just knows they should get to the surface, and that's what she does.
like I think, like with the Vaticans and stuff, they have like those almost 800 or whatever year old paintings and such, and they have to keep them in that oxygen sealed room because just oxygen will cause it to stop running.
Yep.
And what is water but wet oxygen?
Hate
Well,
that. That's a horrible take.
But anyways, you breach from the surface and you are back out in the water.
I thought I hear something.
that statement hurt me because we literally at work have spent hundreds of thousands, if not at this point $1 million, trying to remove as much oxygen as possible from the water that we use. So, yeah.
But it's H2O.
Yes, but the free oxygen, that's bad.
the
The non-hydrogen oxygen. Understood.
Yeah.
Just add more H in there. You'll be fine.
Oh, God.
That can't possibly be anything toxic.
No, that couldn't possibly be bad. Anyway, hang on.
Yes, I gotta say, I am now skimming an article about the long-term preservation of paintings on canvas, and it is acid that is the particular enemy of long-term canvas oil paintings on canvas maintenance. Anyway, but yeah, whatever. I'm not gonna get into a whole argument about whether or not this is realistic. If so be it, if the water destroys the thing, Zenobio isn't gonna give too much concern to it.
Yes.
But he will need to do something to his tunic because now it's slightly off color.
In any case, you are floating among the water now.
Yeah, just saying, salt water is pH neutral. Anyway, okay, so be it. Zenobia is going to just say, Nesma, we're out. Where's the painting?
I gave it to you, old man. Your problem. Hold on. You might go underwater. I'll get us to the ship. Just hold your breath. Just start swimming towards the ship, dragging him behind her.
Zenobio, for his part, will dead man float.
I'm gonna go to the edge of the cliff and see if I can catch sight of either of these two on the ship to like wave them over to bring. I guess they said they couldn't come over though. How are they supposed? How did they put this here to begin with?
You can do it.
They gotta come put the barrier up. I told them that there was no hole, and our option is breaking it so that it caves in.
Oh my god.
I'm still leaning more towards. This magic obviously failed at one
Listen,
point.
the only magic we have is Zenobio, and he's floating in the water.
Oh yeah. Is this
The rest
like
of
a
us are not that inclined
What is it?
to make barriers.
Is this like a path that would lead down?
Not entirely. It slightly is, but it is difficult to move as it is slightly overgrown and sort of rocky. But you can move up and down from it.
I'll just slowly tread my way down there.
Alright. I will say the boat has moved slightly, and it is over here now.
From up here, can we see any other islands? We're pretty high up, right?
Slightly. And yeah, along the horizon you can see a couple. More to your south than anything.
Here's a question. Does this thing at all resemble a super decayed cigarette?
No, it does not.
Okay.
Nice try, though.
Just wanted to clear that out.
It'd be hilarious if it did and we left.
Yeah, totally. And yeah, now that we're like out in the water and Nesma's looking around for the ship, I just gonna sort of pull out the axe head again and kind of like point it around in directions as I'm swimming. See if I can.
Okay. As you do so, nothing seems to happen.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. Axe head's still not very helpful.
Well, it's because you're doing it wrong. Hand it here.
Whatever. I'm just kind of shove it into his hand.
He tucks it away in his cloak, and then once again, dead man floats on the water and say, "To the ocean! To the ship!"
Nesma accidentally dunks him.
Zenobio just like coughs and splutters and continues to dead man float as he gets pulled towards the ship by her swimming.
Okay. Are you actually pulling him along?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
She is
Eventually
my filthy
you get here.
assistant. A little less filthy for the fact that she got dunked in water.
Yeah, at no point is Nesma really a, like, disagreeable party in this relationship. She just kind of doesn't care. Yeah. I'll drag him back to the boat.
Then as the sun is beginning to set in late afternoon, you are pulled back towards the boat. And you are on it. What are the rest of you doing?
I think I'm gonna patrol around to see if something's trying to get in this or out so that we don't make the same mistake again.
Okay.
Corvus
Yeah,
is... Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, my internet's cutting out. Corvus is going to stand guard in front of the entrance, kind of looking down there and taking the occasional look around to make sure that nobody's trying to sneak in or out.
Okay. Both of you go and make perception checks. Okay. Soul and Tiff, what are you doing?
I'm going to just go over here. I'm going to call up to Draka and Corvus that, like, I got a rope tied here, so if you two need to come down, you can just come down this way.
We'll need to close this thing up first. They don't get out when we're not here.
Okay.
The ship has supplies. Get them from the Yanti.
Okay. And Soul's going to unfurl his wings, fly over.
Are you sure you need to worry about it? They didn't look like they were going anywhere.
I'd feel better about leaving if we make sure it's closed. The Yanti asked us to make sure this opening wasn't messed with, so I think it's better if we make sure it's, nothing happens in the meanwhile while we're out, even though they don't want to leave. If something gets in there, makes them want to leave, or encourages them. The way that Tiff Jr. was.
Makes sense to me.
All right. Then as you two get up there, as Zenobio and Nesma are drying themselves off, the captain does walk over to you all. Hello again. I assume you found what you were looking for. Do you require...
Sorry.
Do you require assistance with securing the station here?
The answer is yes.
Also, you're muted if you're saying something.
Oh, yeah. Well, I have to hold 3 buttons. Yeah, there's definitely a whole bunch of creepy-looking Kenku, and the ceiling's wide open, so if you can do something about that, it might not be a bad idea, though they weren't really moving around a lot.
Yeah, they
Yes.
didn't seem to be, any sort of desire to leave, but sealing it up from anyone getting in might be good.
Yes, that is our hope as well, is that no one requires their going in or somehow enforces them out. But here, she reaches into a pack as if she was planning for this after the sending was sent to her, and hands it off to Sol. It is a singular crystal that looks to be orange in color and slightly transparent, the orange mostly towards the center as it sort of twists inside. Plant this at the center of the opening. Hopefully it will guard for some time.
Okay, I can do that.
Then I shall await your return.
Out of curiosity, once I plant this, is there any way to get it back in there?
Well, you seem to find your way into places. Removing it, dispelling it. There's plenty of ways to get back in.
Oh, we got back in through the bottom pretty easily. Back and forth, no problem. You might want to do something about that too, if you can, but, sometimes there's no
Fortunately, we do
contest
not.
for brute strength.
Fortunately, we do not have much thing stronger than this.
Fighting a losing battle, then. I understand. You, do the best you can.
And Sol's going to look back to his party and say, I'll be right back. And he's going to take off.
Alright, Sol, go ahead and make me a perception check.
Okay.
Alrighty then. As you two just sort of station around and guard, you don't quite see anything trying to get in or out. Sol flies up along the edge and makes its way back to the opening here.
I'm going to go ahead and walk inside.
Okay.
And I'm going to kind of walk over towards where the stairwell is.
Mm-hmm.
And are the stairwell, it's like, are they like solid rock steps, or is it more like kind of a metal kind of?
They're solid rock.
Okay. I'm going to I'm going to kind of put this stone, kind of rest it on one of the steps, like the first steps or so, kind of,
Okay.
so that if you were to look inside, they would not immediately see this crystal.
Okay. As
I'm
you
gonna
sort
try
of
and, yeah.
sit it there on the first step or so, you snug it against the wall of it, and you take a step back, and after a moment you see it light up orange for a second and sort of explode outwards in an array of color for a second before it goes transparent once more. And as you put a hand out, there is a barrier there in place again.
All right. He's just gonna nod and kind of look down the steps. Just, we'll be back if we can help. Before making his way out. Gonna look over to Corvus and then to Draka and just be like, well, barriers in place. Much as that'll help.
I don't know. I never saw that thing you were talking about before, Draka.
I haven't been able to catch sight of anything either. Might have just been the shadow, but feel better with that barrier up.
Well, it's a mission well done. Time to celebrate. And he's gonna start heading down to the beach.
Yeah, we're gonna have some of those mushrooms, huh? Do you think that'll hold it, Soul? I mean, little Tiff Jr. walked right through the other barrier.
I'm hoping that was because that barrier was weakened.
Well, I'll mention it to the captain when we get back, but I think we need to find the ziggurat they're talking about.
I think so too. To
Do
be
you
honest, that's why I didn't want the tower collapsed.
Yeah, do you think that the captain and her, the leader, would tell us more? I mean, if it's Yanti ziggurats, it's possible that they aren't even, like, maybe they don't want us to look at them, and there's a whole bunch of tribes.
That's what I was thinking. If it's
I don't-
a place
I
that
don't-
they consider sacred, they might not want us.
Yeah, I don't know how well we'll be at going
Maybe
to
we
actually
could
look at
ask.
one, or...
I can't really get a good read on them. I think the one that aggressive, I think she has her concerns and her heart in the right place. I
I
can't get a
mean-
read on the captain.
I don't know. This ain't my forte, trying to figure things out. We're usually just brawn. Don't know much what to make of all of this, but I suppose we'll figure it out together and make this right.
Zenobia will cut in and say,
We're not on the ship. We're still up on our own on a hill.
you are still up on your own.
They're over here.
I super zoomed in and
Yeah.
I realized that you were not in the group at all. Never mind. Zenobia will nothing. Zenobia will get over the ship.
Zenobia talks to the voices in his head.
Yeah, I was totally zoomed in on the ship. I was just like, I don't know where they are, but I guess they must be here somewhere.
Now we're still putting the barrier on the stairs
Okay.
before we headed back.
Want me to accompany you back to the ship?
I mean, you're gonna just fly, and unless you can carry me, which don't worry about it. I'll just climb down.
All right, I'll meet you over there.
All right.
Just flat.
Whee! Whee! And then I jump.
Okay. All right. You all get aboard the ship, and almost immediately, Tenyu begins to sort of work the sails and unfurl them and begin to sort of sail you off in a more southerly direction around the island. And one last time before you leave, everybody give me a perception check.
Oh boy, this is for all the biscuits.
I am gonna jump off this boat so quick. I guess not, because I can't see shit.
That's okay. Nesma, surprisingly, has got this.
Yay, soul. 23.
All right. As you're rounding the island here and sort of getting to about this area, looking back at the island, the two of you sort of see quickly, just over top of the tower, standing up top of it, there is a figure.
There's somebody up there.
Soul,
Oh.
go get it. I thought I saw something. Oh, fuck.
However,
I got it.
However, as soon as you look, it sort of almost looks like it sees you and gives you a look and turns around, and as you see it turn, there is almost like a portal that opens up beside it. This large circular form of dark and purple blackness that it walks through and disappears.
Well, I guess there was someone up there. Dead? Some
I saw
thing went through a big purpley portal.
it.
You
looked
figure it
right
out.
Do the colors of portals mean anything to me?
Not as far as you are aware right now.
All right, just in the odd chance here, like portals are portals to the whatever dimension, which could be possible, but I figure not. With my role, I would assume I did not notice this and was otherwise distracted.
Yeah, it happened so quickly. Nesma and Soul were the only ones who saw it.
Say, why do you ask?
I don't know, some guy up there. Thing? Something. And there was a portal, and now it's gone.
Well, you should probably lay off the dwarven drinking. You might be imagining things. I didn't see anything.
It was there.
You know, you're right. I haven't had a drink all day. That's probably the problem. She heads on over to her cask.
And
I
I'm
share
so
that remarks. Honestly, she's probably right. She's probably far too sober for the situation.
there was someone up there. They did leave through a portal. It looked like they saw us looking.
Do you know what they looked like? Were they human, an orc, a dragonborn? Were they old, young, tall, short?
They looked like they could have been human-ish. They looked like at least basic human-ish shape. Kind of. How much details would I have gotten?
As much as you saw, because you do not have keen mind and I can't show you it again.
No, I only ask because I have a screenshot of it.
Then, as much as you feel like you would remember.
It looked like someone wearing kind of armor and a cloak. Kind of pro-shaped mask about him. It was a lot to try and take in all at once. It seemed to notice that we spotted them before they left through their portal. I think that they didn't want anyone to witness whatever it was that they were going to be doing there.
Well, then we shan't think of it more right now, but keep that in mind, and if you see them again, then take note.
I will.
Well, I personally think that we're all a little too stressed. So he's going to take out a purple mushroom and toss it over to Draka. So I'm going to go de-stress. If y'all want to join me, feel free. And he's going to toss a purple mushroom back. Just eat it.
Nesma is under the tap of the barrel at this point, just kind of toggling it open and drinking beer as fast as she can. So
Let me see one of those mushrooms.
Yeah, he'll toss over a purple mushroom.
What does he know of this mushroom?
Do you have proficiency in nature?
No.
Then you have no idea.
No idea. Literally none.
No idea. You're a man of the arcane, not nature and mushrooms.
Interesting. Zenobia will tuck it away in a pocket.
Okay. Alrighty. I need to go to the bathroom real fast, so let's take a quick break. I'll be right back. If you would like to discuss anything, you can. As I will leave it open.
Oh, that thing is hunting us, right?
who knows?
Or, maybe it has something to do with the Kenku, and maybe it wanted to, go in there and let them out, and we stopped it momentarily, and it's like, hey, that was open, jerkface. I was gonna go in there and either kill them all or put them in the water. I don't know. Or maybe it's its guardian spirit, and it wants to see its people freed from one of their curses. One of 3.
It is funny because if that thing was just standing on the roof, then we really did Arkham City enemy banter
I know.
throughout that entire situation.
I was like, I didn't look up. Oh my god, I am that guard.
Yeah, Corvus wouldn't have looked up either.
Well, because I saw it go around, and then I was like, oh, what if it's off the cliff? And I never asked, what if it's on? So silly.
Yeah, he didn't fully
Good
believe it.
It's really weird playing a just kind of fight things type character, because I keep catching myself being like, but what about this or what about that? Nope, I am not the person to contribute these thoughts.
Yeah, and so I'm kind of in the middle of that, right? Because I have to think about, okay, I'm taking the responsibility of being a chief leader, so I want to see this solved, but part of me just wants to murder them all and deal with the headache that way. I don't know. And Corvus giving her the mushroom, would she take it? I feel like maybe she would wait until he wasn't on it and then take her own so that one of them was always aware. I don't know. Am I overthinking it? Probably.
I don't know. I feel like it's not totally unreasonable that in this group there would be enough of us that would be survival focused, that we wouldn't all do something incredibly potentially.
I mean, most of us aren't investigative or figure out what's going on.
No, and Nesma is the first to rush into any kind of real fight that she thinks makes any kind of sense, but that doesn't mean that she survived on the road with just her and Zen for quite a long time. There's some amount of survivability between the pair of them in theory, from just a practical standpoint, right?
Yeah.
Your characters' quirks are not the entirety of their personality.
Yeah.
There's some amount of maybe this would be stupid, even if you are a, fairly foolhardy rush into things character.
Right.
Yeah.
And the only reason Corvus took that mushroom is because he's considering himself in a safe area right now.
Oh, totally. And Nesma's drinking a bunch of beer because she's a dwarf, but she still fully intends to do things because she hasn't been angry in a while.
There is an interesting concept in terms of that, really the mushroom thing, as to the popular conception of pharmacology within this setting, which hasn't exactly, it didn't exactly come up in session 0. But that it would be reasonable for anybody who has any kind of particular aspect of like any experience foraging to have at least a certain set of expectations around the particular effects of different kinds of things that they would potentially find in a natural setting as far as being consumable, and the kinds of things they would do to them if they were potentially like psychoactive.
Yeah, but it makes sense that if you aren't trained in nature, it means that you didn't really take note of like what you were eating, and especially the 2 mushrooms that are psychological or whatever, like the bad quote unquote mushrooms. They're from the Underdark, so you would have never seen them before. So you have no idea.
Is that, and that's why Zen was like, "I'm not going to eat this. I'm going to."
Yeah,
that makes sense.
But that beyond that like. There's probably some sort of like relative expectation as far as somebody who is more like maybe potentially wild, as far as being like a half-orc who's been like involved in the wilds, whatever. I mean, I suppose the question is, yes, is it purely an actual Underdark thing? And in which case, then you wouldn't have any reference point, and you were really very dangerous in eating it without having any kind of like nibble on it and see what happens. But like maybe there'd be like some relative similarities to like some kind of like not Underdark mushroom.
Yeah. Oh, it's interesting. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I'm trying to balance like would I take it? Because like I personally wouldn't, but that doesn't mean anything for an orc that'll be like, I'll try anything once. Like,
well, and
doesn't
from
kill
there,
them stronger.
Part of it would be like in general, would you expect a mushroom to be one like psychoactive and 2 dangerous? In this world in general, if you just simply took like 10 different mushrooms completely randomly, what percentage of them would be safe to eat, would make your stomach upset, would like kill you, versus would make you trip balls? If this is a world where it's like, yeah, half of all mushrooms make you trip balls, and if you don't know which ones they are, you're going to trip balls, then like, yeah, you'd expect that you might have the chance of having like a high. If a lot of mushrooms are deadly, then you'd have a general expectation that it would be a bad idea to eat mushrooms. But then like in terms of like regular world, like my assumption in terms of like wild found mushrooms is that like most mushrooms vary somewhere on the range of like edible to make your stomach upset. And it's only a very small percentage of mushrooms that are either deadly or make you trip balls.
That's true.
These weren't wild caught. They were farmed.
Yes.
Yeah, which means that they're probably not deadly.
Well,
That was also
or they
potentially
aren't.
a cult.
I mean, they're either bred as food or they're bred for other purposes specifically.
I mean,
And
I
so
think
it could be that these people just really liked to poison people and had a whole crop of poisonous mushrooms.
I mean,
Entire deadly nightshade gardens, right? Like this is not unheard of.
Yeah.
Different physiology.
Anyway,
well, I don't think that the area that they were in is even originally like Raven territory, considering it's a drow god that was on the floor. Like,
drows have one god. That was an elf god.
No, she's a drow.
Saloon?
The drow had more gods before they
turned
fell into Lolth.
Yeah.
Sure.
She is actually in the Forgotten Realms. She is a drow goddess of the moon, which some of them do worship, and it is But like, I mean, if you look at it like
casting for the most part, like drow are much anyway.
It was all also like elven, like stonework and stuff. So it's possible that this was like a drow haven at one point, like 1,200 years ago, before they all fell to Lolth, kind of thing. If that is even a thing in this setting, which it probably is, but I don't know. But like, and then they found this empty, and we're like, oh, we'll shove the Kenku in here, and like the water barrier's just always been there. Like it might not even be theirs.
Yeah.
Because it's like
That was
underwater
my-
temple.
That was my initial thought, that them having, I guess what I know now is that meta knowledge is being like probably the people who wrote that journal.
Well, the people who wrote that journal were doing the same thing we're doing now.
Yeah.
So they've been cursed for a very long time, and they've been under control for a very long time, and we are not the first people to come through and try and help them, find them and go, okay, how do we help you? Okay,
Sure.
you want us to go to the ziggurat, and like finding their diary, like they're dead, right?
But I mean, like, just the
what
thing
happened?
that they were saying, that this Kenku has those voices, essentially.
Yeah, it has
means
the
that
voices that were asking
probably-
the same questions.
So they might very well have been the original worshippers here, and just they're now screwed up.
I mean, yeah, it could have been it was their place because it was written in Elvish, so it could have been their temple, and like the Kenku were shoved in with them because people didn't know that they were there. I don't know.
It could. I was meaning like it could be very well that this temple was like the Kenku's. And you just like.
Well, anyway, so he's back, and we are going
Yes.
off a wild tangent. in
No,
terms
it's
of
fine.
how much
I was
stuff
letting you
we
guys
made.
riff. You guys are just trying to figure it all out. That's fine.
Well, no,
Um,
but is like wild speculation that is based on Forgotten Realms lore that may or may not be applicable to
Yeah.
Aietherhall. Yeah.
yeah, it's up to you to make that interpretation and how it ends up playing out. But I am just letting you guys riff so you can figure things out. In any case, you all begin to sail towards the south. However, the captain does eventually call out, or Tenyu at least calls out, "Alright, where are we heading now? Next island, you got somewhere to be. We can stop back at our sanctuary, resupply and such. We will have to do that soon."
Well, if we need to resupply, I think heading back by port is a good idea. We certainly have some learnings that we've had from coming through here, and have some expectation that the Kenku are kept under control.
Sol did mention that we should see if we can swing by the first island we were on originally just to pick up that Kenku we left behind. I mean, I think that's where their island is. Their home, because they were watching us from it, I think. I mean, yeah, it's super south, but they're a fast ship. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I do think we need to check up on Tiff Jr.
If you'd like to check, you can. However, when we were looking at it, it didn't look like there was anyone on it.
Is it near your island or?
Not particularly. We were just doing the rounds.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I
We
guess
also
whatever's
probably
close-
could not make it that far on our current supplies. We'd have to stop first.
Yeah, we might as well stop first, and if there's anything we could learn from your island, that might be helpful.
You could try talking to some of them. I can't say that a lot of us will know much other than me and you, Charles, here, but you can
Would we
always
be
try.
able to walk around and just talk to people and, look at what's
There
going
will-
on? I mean,
There will be certain places that you will be off limits from, as they are religious sites that we cannot allow outsiders into. But you can speak to others if you wish, though I can't guarantee that you will be welcomed with open arms.
all right. Start.
I would be thrilled to have the opportunity to speak to some scholars. Surely you have some among you who are welcoming of other educated professionals who are interested in exchanging ideas.
We have one, I suppose you could call him that. Though he's not one for sharing. especially with a human.
We'll have to see about that. I have so many years on me, I'm barely human myself.
It's her head. She tilts her head, very confused at that statement, but
Nesma
shakes
just
and carries
chuckles,
on.
like half drowns in her beer at the statement. She's like, right, you're human, all right.
In either case, I will head south then. It will take about a day, or at least the nightfall. She looks up and you can sort of see that the sun is beginning to set, or is already in the process of doing so. Get comfortable, I suppose. Is there anything else that you would like to do before someone's trip sets in?
I'm just gonna wait for Zenobio to fall asleep.
Okay.
Zenobio is going to go downstairs and pour over his books, having recently learned a bunch of spells, and stay up for quite a while to continue to study them.
Okay. The rest of you?
We'll drink her ale and bide her time.
Put you over here, then.
I think knowing that Corvus is gonna take that mushroom, I'm gonna put mine in my pouch. Maybe actually, can I study it with my medical eyes?
Knowing what Soul told you, sure, you can attempt to see if you can do anything with it, the purple one. Nope. Yeah, you're not sure. Maybe someone more trained could use it, but you're not sure how.
I'll watch over Corvus just to make sure, like, he doesn't get hurt physically.
Sure.
Doesn't OD on
What
too
about
much mushroom.
you two?
I'm probably going to just kind of... I see they have a crow's nest.
Kinda. It's like a small platform at the top of the sails, but it's not really a crow's nest.
Well, I'm gonna just be up there.
Okay. Tiff?
I'm just gonna look out over the water.
Alrighty. Then you continue to sail south as the sun sets and the night begins to come. A full moon overhead at the time. Zenobio, in your studying, go ahead and make me a perception check. As you're studying abroad or looking through books, there's a small bit of moonlight that sort of cascades through the crack of the sort of caged exterior above you. The axe head to your side, it begins to shift under that light.
Well, I will pay attention.
It doesn't really move, it just shifts slightly.
I'll try and draw it out by seeming to move my attention back to the book.
It continues to just sort of shift slightly back and forth.
I'll wait while it's shifting until I very definitely see it shifting and quickly look back towards it.
Okay, it just continues to shift back and forth.
I'll move my hand out quickly to try and touch it.
Alright. As you touch it, you can sort of feel it. The sort of center piece of it, as you're holding it up, shifting back and forth under the moonlight.
I'll close my eyes and focus on feeling it through my touch.
Still the same. Doesn't seem like anything changed.
So basically, like, I'm closing my eyes and I'm feeling something that is like magically shifting upon my fingers.
It's not like shifting as if it's changing, but that opening mechanism is like shifting back and forth, like the sides are going up and down.
Um, can I like outside of a specific spell like apply magical influence upon it?
Uh, you don't think that would do much at the moment?
All right. Um, I guess I will detect thoughts.
It is not alive and does not have thoughts.
All right. I will keep my hand upon it as I return to my book.
Okay. It just continues to shift back and forth under your hand. There are moments when the boat begins to stop or creak back and forth and the moonlight stops in your space and you no longer have light and it begins to stop shifting back and forth.
Do I still feel it there? Like
It's still there. It's just when the
yeah.
moonlight stops, it stops moving.
Oh, okay. Well, but like, is this like I guess out of character? Is this something that I would potentially attribute to the influence of a moon goddess, potentially having some kind of interaction with our mortal plane, or is this just something vaguely curious?
It seems like it is not religious or clerical in any way. It seems it is in the moonlight. It is moving.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, I guess I'll once more run my hands over it and like see whether there's any kind of reaction to any particular presses or interactions or adjustments within it.
Nothing seems to happen other than when you cover up the moon, it stops moving.
I guess has it seemed to change in terms of the amount of movement with like as we're traveling?
Not as far as you can tell. It's just it is moving currently with the small amount of moonlight that it has, and then when you stop and cover it, it does not move.
All right. I'll stow it away, and before I head to bed, I will return back to the deck of the deck of the boat, and see if walking around with it in the moonlight makes a particular difference in one way or the other.
Yes, it does. Okay. As you get out onto the deck and pull it out, the crease in it begins to glow a slight bluish hue, similar to the moon. And as you sort of are adjusting it out into the light and looking around, it seems to glow brighter in certain directions.
Is that relative to the direction we're following?
Currently, no. Currently, it looks like if you know you're going south right now and face towards the front of the ship, it looks like it's going towards the east, to your left.
Well, knowing that we're looking at getting supplies, etc., I'm going to take note of this, but keep it to myself for the time being.
Gotcha. Alrighty. Alright. You eventually go back, I assume, to your books and then to your sleep. There's nothing
Yep, I'm
else
gonna go
to
back
use.
to my books and shit. No, sorry. I just like selected a whole bunch of my notes and deleted them all at once. Luckily, I could do. It's not a big deal. Sorry. Yes, I will go back to my books and study for a small amount of time more before getting tired and probably falling asleep upon my books.
Alrighty. Then before I get to you, Nesma, he eventually falls asleep. Go ahead and make me a Constitution saving throw, however, as you are very drunk, and we'll see if you can stay up before him. Unfortunately, the alcohol gets to you, and the waiting of making him, as he's just reading books and playing with an axe head,
It's been
Gets
far
to
too
you.
boring of a day.
and too boring of a day, and you fall asleep before he can fall asleep.
If she
All
falls
right,
asleep
I'll
before
wake
me,
up before him then.
if she falls asleep before me, I'm gonna sneak over there and very carefully put a blanket on her.
Okay.
Oh.
No one is down there to see that, so you don't have to make a stealth check.
All right.
Alright. You, make me a Constitution saving throw.
Me?
Me?
Corvus.
1 second. There. 19.
Okay. Now make me a Charisma saving throw.
God damn it, that's gonna be rough.
Are you not a paladin? Why don't you have Charisma?
Because I put the thing that lets me use strength instead of charisma.
Oh yeah, right. Forgot about that.
Hey!
Okay. Okay. Alrighty then. I was not prepared for you to be able to do that. Hold on.
I get the good trip.
Well, it's in a way.
Oh god. Hold on. Alright, I'm ready.
Alright. Let me make sure the music's right for this one. And let's just move over here. You pop in the mushroom. And for a while, like an hour or so, you don't really feel that much of anything. And Draka, as you're watching him, doesn't really see all that different. But as time goes on, you start to see the effects beginning to ring through him. As he slowly begins to slur his words and sit back and relax very, very heavily. Eventually, he seems to just fall into this trance-like state. He seemingly being able to control it enough to not immediately just pass out or vomit whatever he had taken. Corvus, you find your mind wandering, and under the full moon, it being taken, moved along to another place. As you find yourself just in this inky blackness, able to sort of view yourself and everything around you, but nothing being there. Till this small speck of bluish light begins to shine through and slowly emanate throughout the space, underneath your feet as it ripples like water. A figure sort of forms in the darkness. This dancing, sort of similar to the mosaic you saw, just sort of very, not outlined or detailed, but just sort of slightly lit, Like, just the very small details around her arms and legs are able to be seen around this bluish light as she dances around you. And that same phrase from before is emanated through your mind over and over and over again. That they wait beyond the moon, beneath our feet. They wait for our shadow to grow long, and once they can see it, the end will come again. It repeats and repeats and repeats until you see the form shift from this figure of a woman to this almost unrecognizable form. Tendrils and tentacles that sort of shift and shape around it. This large sort of centered piece, similar to the mountain you saw before with the red gem in the center that twists around it. And it just stares back at you. Before it sort of offers a small tendril out towards you.
Fuck it. Corvus is gonna take that tendril in his hand.
Alright. In that moment, you feel this searing pain like nothing you've ever felt before. And in that moment, your eyes awaken back aboard the ship as the sun beginning to rise, as you are hung over as hell.
Oh, I feel like Tempest hit me with this warhammer.
Fuck that time with the music, so good.
Yeah, it was really good.
100%.
And before I continue, because we are about to end, Nesma, go ahead and roll me a D100.
Oh, fun.
Nothing seems to happen yet.
Cool.
Alrighty. And as you are sailing south, as the sun begins to rise, as you all found your places to rest for the night, that'll be where we stop for now, as you are arriving to a large island lush with greenery, and just a single river that looks like they are pulling the large ship into.
Oh shit.
Oh god. Wrong pipe. Oh god.
Oh no.
In any case.
Knees are dying!
In any case, thank you for watching. I will end the stream now. Goodbye.
Bye.